Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. This is going to be quick. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. It's overcast here again, but this is something I've wanted to bring to your attention, especially to the targeted individual people. We know that there are a lot of people in the community that are fake. They pretend to be targeted. They try to steal your money. They pretend to be doctors who want to help you, and that there are other people in the community who are more than happy to help these people perpetrate additional crimes against the truly targeted people. In April, at the recommendation of an alleged targeted person, she, when I told her about a health condition I was having, she recommended this doctor, Dr. Robert O. Young, and I have heard of him before. And I've seen him interviewed by Romola D and everything. So I decided to give it a try. So I had a Zoom meeting with him in April of 2022. At that moment, at that time, he did not tell me what the cost of the consultation would be. I did not know how long the consultation would be. But at the end of the consultation, he told me it would be $500. What was I going to do, folks? At the end of a consultation, somebody tells me to pay through PayPal, through friends and family, I guess to avoid taxes or declaring it. So I paid him. He was paid. I never received any additional follow-up information from him. So I've written him several letters, but as you know, my computer was hacked and all of my mail was stolen. Fortunately, I copied myself to another email address back in November. And here I'm writing, Dr. Young, to date, I have not received a response from my communications regarding the specimens mailed to you in August. I have not received an analysis as discussed prior to my mailing them to you. Please either send them back to me with tracking or provide your analysis. Now, I need to follow up here that after my Zoom consultation, not only didn't he provide me with a report or follow-up information, he hadn't returned any of my calls or emails. And he said, though, that he would analyze some berries that were on a local tree here that were being systematically burned, and not by the sun. So I sent them to him, priority mail. He received them. And he never contacted me about having received them. I sent him 3 emails. He said, oh, he was out of town, oh, he couldn't get to it, or this and that. And then no contact at all. So I sent him another message. I leave him a voice message. Nothing. 0. No communication. So he has my evidence. I sent him evidence. I spent priority mail. No response. No response to my follow-up consultation. So I filed a complaint with PayPal. And of course, because PayPal took the money directly from my bank account, I wasn't able to get it resolved through PayPal, although PayPal put a strike against him and put a fraud alert on his email address. So I'm going to continue here. In addition, I have not received the follow-up report discussed during our Zoom consultation in April of 2022. I was also unaware of the cost of the consultation until after it had ended and was asked to provide payment via PayPal, friends, and family. Although I had not received an invoice for the consultation, it was paid. I paid it. Even though it was the most costly consultation I've paid for in years, since I usually pay on a sliding scale based upon my income or lack thereof. At this time, I'm requesting a copy of the invoice outlining the services that were provided. I am entitled to a partial refund based on the lack of services we had discussed that were not received. They weren't received by me. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. I have not heard from this individual. So not only did not provide me with an invoice for services, he did not provide the follow-up report as discussed in the Zoom consultation. He did not tell me the cost of the consultation until after it had ended, and it was exorbitant. you know, in all fairness, like, I at this point was not even aware that he was not on the up and up, given what I've read about him, etc. But you know what? He's in the community, and just because another alleged targeted person says, "Oh well, he was in jail. They put him in jail." Well, you know what? I know a lot of innocent people that were placed in jail, but I also know a lot of guilty people that were placed in jail. Okay? And you know, for something like this, ripping off a targeted person, $500, stealing my evidence that he was supposed to analyze, and then he has the audacity on his blog, on his website, he's got a blog, and he is fundraising money for his own research. And he has raised from unsuspecting people about $37,000, folks. And plus, the address that I mailed him my evidence to, I just, you know, after months, I decided to look it up on Zillow. This is a multi-million-dollar home. It's worth close to $4 million. And then when I mentioned to the female about what he did to me, she says, "Well, call your bank." You know, not anything about, well, this is a guy in the community that's scamming people. He stole my evidence. Everybody should be alarmed and not frequent this person, not obtain his services. And the fact that, and if he's a targeted person, if he is, I don't really know that many targeted people, maybe unless they're celebrities that live in multi-million-dollar homes and are fundraising $37,000 and then scamming a true targeted person out of $500 in their evidence. And lastly, I'd like to say that my friend Helena Csorba, who was a targeted individual, performed an extraordinary amount of research for targeted people as a civil engineer. She posted it online for everybody to see, and it was part of my URL list, a list that I was sending out to everybody, of which this individual received. Well, after she died, I had one individual approach me and ask for permission to use the information, and I gave it to her because I was a very close friend of Helena, and I was in contact with her family. But what did this guy do? He took every piece, every word, every reference verbatim, cut and pasted it into his own blog, and used it as his own, and gave no reference, no credit to Helena Csorba. I'm going to rest my case on this, folks. If anybody has questions or comments, you can email me privately. It is despicable. Oh, and just for the record, years ago when I lived in New Jersey, I had a consultation with a Dr. Staninger, who's well known in the community. I had a phone conversation with her and follow-up, and she sent me this extraordinary report of what I should eat, what I shouldn't do, how to detox. She gave me an extra consultation about my cats, what was happening with my cats after I showed her photos. And as a cat lover herself, and I did not know this at the time, she sent me a book for free of charge that she wrote about her own cats. Now that is a true professional. I don't care what anybody says about her. I've had, people talk about Dr. Staninger as not being a real doctor, etc. Well, a lot of people are not real doctors. Sometimes they are not medical doctors. They are chiropractors. So they have what's called a DC. So they're chiropractors, and there are different form of doctor. In fact, in my